Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tuesday's Ecology News. For today's topic, we will be looking at the devastating Peloponnisian Wars happening as we speak.
Yes, Jim. On today's headlines, we will be looking in depth at how the Peloponnesian Wars started, speaking with the great Athens and Sparta generals, and seeing how these wars ended.
To first fully comprehend these wars, we will need to go to the root of the problem. This is how it all started.
Our reporters Jake and Sarah are live in one of the great cities of Sparta.
During the Persian Wars, the small, quarrelsome Greek city-states had finally united to defeat an outside threat in the name of freedom. However, in the years following the Persian Wars, the Greeks showed that they were incapable of acting as a unified whole. In particular, Greece was torn apart by rivalry between Athens and Sparta, the two most important city-states that could not stand each other.
The rivalry was closely linked to one of the greatest political questions: should the Greek states be ruled by democracies, where everyone shared power, oligarchies, where only a few men had power?
Athens was a democracy, and Sparta was an oligarchy. Now, as you can imagine, as both city-states became increasingly powerful, it was inevitable that they would come into conflict. At the end of the Persian Wars, there were two leagues led by Sparta.
Since Athens contributed so much to the victory over the Persians, it was offered a new league called the Delian League. It started to gain power and led to suppression of privacy.
Many city-states became resentful of Athenian domination of their affairs, and readily supported Sparta when she promised to free them from the Athenian tyranny. From the 470s BCE onwards, Sparta and Athens became increasingly hostile.
Matters worsened when the Athenian force was sent to Sparta to crush a Hella revolt, but instead asked to go back home. You now know how these devastating wars started, and what provoked these two sides to collide with one another.
Cut. Yes, I'm here with Lysander, the Spartan general. So, Lysander, tell me a bit about what Sparta is doing to win the Peloponnesian Wars.
Well, Sparta is winning the Peloponnesian War right now. The Athenian army is no match for the Spartan warriors in battle. The reason we are so strong is our boys leave home by age 7 to train as warriors. By age 20, those who survive the harsh training become full soldiers. Every Spartan is a professional warrior. At the age of 30, men become full citizens and continue serving in the army until they are 60. Our women also receive physical training. It is the highest goal to give birth to a strong and healthy child.
If you're winning on the battlefield, how come you have not won the war yet?
With the power of the Delian League, the Athenians built great wealth and a powerful army and navy. We formed our own alliance called the Peloponnisian to hold them in check. Finally, Athens and their friends in Corinna attacked our friends from Corinth, and that started the Peloponnesian. Both sides are fighting fiercely, but Sparta will overcome.
So how will you defeat them?
We will take the guidance of our government, which is made up of our Senate and our Assembly. The Senate is made up of 30 men over the age of 60, who we call our elders, and who are all Spartan warriors. The Assembly, which is made up of all of our men over 30 years old. We will continue to dominate them on land using our superior warriors and battlefield tactics like the Spartan phalanx. Then I, Spartan General Admiral, will lead the Spartan fleet to destroy the Athenian navy at Aristotle. This will be the final blow that will crush Athens and end their golden age.
Thank you, great Lysander, for being part of our evening. We wish you luck for the next battles to come.
Good job.
Now we're interviewing one of the great Spartan generals. He is the one who makes his men ruthless and brave. He is terrifying on the battlefield, and enemies cower in fear when they see him.
He has led many battles, and it is a great honor that we are able to interview him.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we will be interviewing the great Lycurgus, one of the greatest Spartan generals of all time.
General Pericles, the Athenian king. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. General Pericles, what did you do with your city-state after the Persian War, and how were you thinking?
A couple years after the Persian Wars, we wanted to make sure that we were ready if the Persians ever returned, or if anyone wanted to cause a war. So then the city-states formed the Delian League.
What's the Delian League?
This is the league that has about 150 members, each a city-state in ancient Greece. The purpose of the Delian League was to put money into shared treasury, to have a hand-on-hand fiscal war. I thought after that we needed to be more mighty and stronger.
Wow, that sounds like it must have took your city-state a lot of money and time.
It did. It took so much money and, of course, time to make weapons and ships and to train the men. We wanted to be ready to fund a war instantly and to be able to win if we wanted.
Now that I know the background information and what happened after the Persian War, tell me, how did the Peloponnisian War begin?
We never liked each other. And 431 hostilities broke out between Corinth and its colony of Corcyria. Sparta supported Corinth and us, and Athens backed up Corcyria. This beginning of the Peloponnesian War because Sparta was supported by a league of states in the Peloponnese area for 7 years. We are backed up by the Delian League. The Spartans are nearly unbeatable in land battles. They were easily able to invade Attica. We had a superior navy but weak army than the Spartans. We tried to avoid fighting the Spartans on land. We didn't want to make big mistakes as we already did with the previous battles.
You stated to me earlier before the interview started that you and the Athenians have becoming weaker. Why?
Yes, we have been staying inside of our city walls, and we improved by siege. This resulted in a deadlock. The Spartans wrecked and ruined the area around us, but they could not get through the long, tough walls. This is very good for us. If they got through, we might not be able to be in this war for much longer.
Oh, I see. And how is Athens doing now?
We are doing well right now, honestly. Recently, just after the deadlock, a deadly illness has broken out in Athens, and about a quarter of the people have died already. Hopefully, we will find a way to overcome this illness.
You heard it from the man himself, General Pericles. It was an honor meeting you. Thank you for giving your time to talk and answer questions today. I hope the best for you in Athens.
No. Thank you.
Now back to David with the weather. Athens must have been greatly weakened. Its enormous losses had crippled the Athens' war efforts. Many of their allies revolted, and the Spartans continued to pursue an aggressive policy. Sparta's navy had become stronger and taken over the Athens trade port. Slaves are fleeing, and the people of Athens are going to go hungry. Sadly enough, there was an outbreak of an illness, which had killed more than half of their citizens already. Athens is becoming an inferior, poor city-state.
While Persia and Sparta did make an alliance in 411 BCE, so I expected a bit of an uprising by Sparta. The Persians, who wanted to see the Athenians defeated, provided the Spartans with a fleet. In 405 BCE, Athenian naval power was shattered when General Lysander defeated the Athenians at the Battle of Aigos Potami. Things weren't going well for the Athenians by then, and many didn't think it would get better.
Without a good fleet, they were cut off from the outside world. Athens had to be forced to admit defeat. Their long walls were destroyed, and its government was turned into oligarchy, which is a government ruled by only a few people. Athens is now an ally of Sparta, and it was subject to rule.
Let's go to Ava on the site for a closer look into how it all went down. Hi Marcy, how are you?
Great. I'm here with the Spartan general to get the full story on his point of view of the Great Peloponnesian War between Athens and Sparta. Hi. What's your view on the war?
Sparta emerged victorious over Athens at the end of the Peloponnesian War. We were able to put an oligarchy in place in Athens. It had been unfortunate that war has taken so much out of Greece's military might.
What do you think will happen from here?
When Greece's weakened military state, there is a chance we could be open to invasion.
How so?
The war has weakened both Athens and us during this period. We could both be an easy target for Persia or anyone else to invade.
Well, I sure hope that Greece can come back and repair the damages.
Me as well.
Back to you, Oban.